Hi everyone. In this video I will be explaining you about exception handling in C++ with the help of try, catch and throw. So let's get started. So currently I am having here a super simple code of finding the quotient of two numbers. So here we are getting numerator and denominator from the user, and I am just calculating the quotient by dividing both, and then I am printing the quotient. Alright, so numerator, denominator, they are just, you can consider them as number 1 and number 2. That's it. So this program will work well and good. So let me just now run this program. So I will just give numbers 10 and 2. I'll be getting the output as 5. So this works perfectly fine, and we don't need any error handling now. If the user inputs some valid number like this, like 10, 2 or any other whole number. So what if the user inputs 0? Like even if the user inputs integers or negative numbers, it's absolutely fine. We'll be getting a result. So what if the user enters denominator as 0? Because any number divided by 0 is basically undefined. So we can't basically do a division by 0. So like let's suppose say I will be entering the numerator as 10 and I'm entering the denominator as 0. And if I just now hit enter, so we won't be getting any output. The program just crashed right now. We are not getting this cout. So I'm actually like printing the quotient, but nothing has got printed. So in this case, this is basically an exception, which means that we are mentioning the user that if you enter 0, you won't be getting your desired output. That is like an error or an exception. So we need to like handle that particular exception, and in majority of the programming languages, we will be using the try and catch block. So that's such a famous keyword in exception handling. So let me just now go and type the basic syntax. So it's going to be try, open curly bracket, and you'll be having the catch. So for catch, you'll be having a circular bracket and then curly bracket, just like a function, and here we can pass some arguments, and throw will come inside the try block. Okay, so after you're done with this, you need to just put the code inside your try block which you feel that may cause an error. So in our case, this particular operation has the high chance of causing error because this is where the division operation takes place. So here where if a user is entering 0, the denominator will be replaced by 0. So this is the point where we have a high chance for that exception to be thrown. So what we are doing is we will just copy the program here from here. Just cut this and I will just paste it inside try. Alright, I'm just pasting it inside try. And before the try, I will be having a if condition. I will just put if denominator, that is this variable which is inputted by the user. If denominator equal to 0, I will just throw something. I will just need to just throw some random integer or string. So I'll just throw -1 maybe, yeah. And this particular throw and this number will be then passed to catch. So I will just have int number throw. Alright, and I will just have a cout inside this as exception cannot be 0, and let me just now print the number thrown also. So basically what happens here is that if the user enters the denominator as 0, it will come inside the try block. It will check for this if condition. So if denominator equal to 0, so let's assume that the denominator is 0. So 0 equal to 0, condition is true, and it will just throw it. So these two steps won't be executed. Just imagine as a break. Okay? We have the break in looping, right? So if the break condition like executes, it will just come outside of the loop. Exactly the same thing. If this particular operation is thrown, these two lines will never get executed, and we won't be getting any crashing or undefined values. So it will then come here, like after it is thrown, it will then come into the catch block. So basically the catch block catches that particular error. Okay, simple. Catches the throw here, and it just comes here, and we will be getting this exception cannot be 0. So I hope that made sense. So let me just now run this now. So I'll just go with 10 and 0, and if I hit enter, so here you can see that exception cannot be 0, 0, and I'm getting -1, and we are not getting any undefined or crashing thing. We are getting a definite output. And if I go with, like as I told you, right, this can be anything. You can send whatever the number you want. Yeah, that's not a big deal. It can be anything. Even I think it can be a string also. Yeah, so it can be 100. So same thing, this number will be appearing over here. So I think we can only throw numbers over here. So maybe you can just have a nested if condition and check that particular number that is thrown, and you can just have multiple exception handled. Okay, so you can just try that out. And another thing, if you want any other statement to get executed, so let's suppose say that this particular cout won't get executed because it has thrown as an exception, right? So if you want any other like cout to be shown after that, you can just have it at the end. So here you can have a final cout, a print statement. I'll just type program ended like that. Yeah, this will be executed irrespective of our try and block condition. Like even if there is any error or exception, this will by default appear at the end. So in case if you want any like print statement by default, you can just have it here or above that try block. All right. So this occurs by default. So I'll just go with 10 and 5. So 2 program ended, and if I go with some exception like denominator as 0, still we will be getting the same. See here you can select program ended. So by default it's happening. You can just have a end line or new line over here. So this is basically try, throw and catch in C++, and do check the playlist of my channel. I've done many tutorials in C, C++, Java, Python, Node.js, React.js, MongoDB, MySQL, Spring Boot, CRUD operations, queries also. So check them, subscribe me. Thanks for watching.